An inspiring life story like no other. Follow his dream. Feel his determination. Fulfill his destiny. The Manny Pacquiao Saga.
Story of our pambansang kamao, Manny Pacquiao, Senator Manny. Joining us as special guests are Alvin Huban. He is the president and chairman of the Game Developers Association. Thank you very much, Alvin, for representing the Philippine gaming industry. I know you are quite excited about this new development as well, and we hope to work closely with you and see how we can, as you said, bring this game to global geographies. No? Unfortunately, our representative of Manny Pacquiao could not join us today. Si Attorney Brando has a relief operations that he was called to participate in. I think he's in Cavite. But again, I'd like to repeat the statement of no other than our fighting pride himself. As he said, quote, "I am excited to share my life story through the mobile game Fighting Pride, the Manny Pacquiao Saga. And I hope that my story will inspire future generations." This is a direct quote from Senator Manny. At this point, we'd like to begin the presentation, beginning with our president of OMG. OMG stands for Ochosa Makatulad Games, one of the co-developers of this game. No other than Mr. Mike Ochosa. Go ahead, Mike.
Good day to everyone. Thank you. I am overwhelmed that a lot of you are here today. Hopefully, some other people will be joining us. But thank you for being here. I will make this short. My role is to just give you a background on why this project is this project. So let me just give you a story about it. I think the idea began in one of my trips to Vegas on my way to cover a Pacquiao fight. I was reading an in-flight magazine, and for some reason there was an article on Manny in that in-flight magazine. And you read that, and I was expecting the regular write-ups, like him as a boxer, and the number of wins, the number of losses, and so on and so forth. But I was really surprised, pleasantly, in fact, that the point of view of the writer was rather positive about Manny. He called him very influential at that time and in the years to come. He was described as a statesman and a philanthropist, and basically he was already transcending boxing. As a Filipino, while I was reading that, there was obviously pride in my heart. Although we here in the Philippines, we have so many point of views about Manny. Sometimes positive, sometimes negative. But outside in the world, Manny actually is seen as so much more than just a boxer. I think that idea resonated in my heart for a couple of months and a couple of years after that. But the idea, the action behind that idea began after the Horn fight. Shoot pa lang, sama, no? Kapal na lang ng mukha. I went up to Manny and I presented the idea. It was, as you guys know, it's very difficult to really get close to Manny and be able to pin him down for a presentation. But I was able to do that with the help of some of Team Pacquiao members. And basically, the idea was simple. I asked him, would you want to share your life story on a mobile game? In other words, rather than writing a book or producing a movie, the pitch was, why don't we put it on a mobile game? And let me take this opportunity. Kanina si Boyet and si Alvin were talking about numbers. No? And I think I thought about gaming not because of those numbers, but because of the fact that people were moving to this platform in terms of entertainment, in terms of being able to, to gather information. The gaming pre-pandemic, they said was going to grow at an 11% compounded annual growth, and the numbers of Alvin was correct a while ago, 150 billion dollars. So they said it was going to make, and they were looking at gaming to grow at 11%. But amongst the three, console, PC, and mobile gaming was projected to grow 26.8%, so much faster than gaming in totality. But that's pre-pandemic. So I think Alvin will be able to share later on the numbers of the game of mobile gaming. But that's what makes it interesting. So after Manny agreed, the work had to begin. No? And one other thing I'd like to share with you today is that this is an all Filipino project. There were, admittedly and honestly, there were opportunities for us to, talk to developers from other countries. In fact, we were able to speak to some of them, but we felt, OMG felt that why do that? If Manny is a Filipino icon and he's a Filipino treasure, why should we allow his story to be told by someone else? So we luckily, and we are blessed to have found and met the best, I think, the best game developer of the country in the Philippines, and that's Ronida, and who will be represented by Ben later, and he will be talking about it. But so technically, mga kasama, we're like Manny also. We're very local, but we will compete in the international arena of gaming. So I think we're world class in terms of graphics, and we're world class in terms of our ability to develop mobile games. So here we are today. We're just launching. It's like a movie, friends. No, we're just announcing to everybody that it will be available next year, but we are already close to finalizing the whole project. So again, I'd like to welcome everyone to this what we call a round table discussion. And again, thank you very much from the bottom of my heart to all my friends in media and those who have joined us today. Thank you, Francis.
Thank you, Mike. We're talking about the mobile gaming industry in general. We are, as I said, blessed to have Alvin here representing the Philippine gaming industry. Alvin, would you like to say a few words about our current market for mobile games?
I only have the pre-pandemic forecast for mobile games, and it's quite small. It's around mga $79 billion, but that's the worldwide market. Worldwide market. And what everyone knows also in gaming as general, the darling right now is Southeast Asia, which we are part of. So and remember, we are we are in the youngest part of the world, where the average age is not in this call. The average age is actually 23. And so all these young people are consuming, buying new devices. So talagang there's a big upwards projection for mobile, even mobile esports, everything mobile, consumption even of social media, data for work is really going mobile, and we don't see it trimming down for the next 7-8 years. So it's not too late. It's still a growing market. And even the Philippines is it's a big it's a great consumer of mobile as well. And I hope with this project now we get the support of the Philippine people behind Manny before we go across the world.
That's great. That's great to hear, Alvin. It's very encouraging. Next, I'd like to introduce to you the better half, or the other half of this development from Renida Studios or Renida Games, is the CEO, Ben Banta. I think he'd like me to share something first. Allow me.
Hello everyone, my name is Manny Pacquiao. A lot of people call me Pac-Man. Many of you have asked about my journey. You all know that I started from nothing, but with the grace of God, I have been blessed with a life which I have never dreamed of. Allow me to share my life story. I hope it inspires you. In a few months, we will launch a mobile game app entitled Fighting Pride: The Pacquiao Saga. Here you will experience everything I have experienced. You and I will fight not only in the ring but through life's challenges. Remember, download the mobile game Fighting Pride: The Pacquiao Saga.
The Manny Pacquiao Saga.
Hi guys. Again, first of all, thank you so much for being here. This is very exciting. The game is nearly there. We are working hard in developing it. And um, First of all, I would like to introduce myself and my company. I'm Ben Joseph Banta or Ben Banta. I'm the CEO of Ranida Games, and Ranida Games is the also the developer of the PBA Basketball Slam. So we are the official game developer of the PBA, and also the developer of the first fighting game of the Philippines, Bayani. So and this and fighting and as I have mentioned, most of our games are Filipino centric, and it was a real honor for us to be working on a game for the Filipino pride, Manny Pacquiao. So just a brief history lang nung I started game development kasi ng 2007, and I worked on several games for the foreign market. So I created games for Viacom, for Nickelodeon, and during this time, ang focus more is for Filipino centric games, and that's what Ranida Games is currently doing. We are representing the Filipinos through gaming, and that's why when the opportunity of doing a game for Manny Pacquiao comes in, I was super excited. Look, hindi ko lang pinahalata masyado sa kanila. Pero I've been watching Manny Pacquiao ever since. I've been following all and watching his fights, and napaka big deal sa akin na yung si Manny, napaka big deal niya as a boxer for me kasi idol ko siya, and when OMG contacted us about this project, grabe yung it's like a bursting dam para sa emotions ko na, oh wow, gagawa ako ng may opportunity na gawa ng game ni Manny, and that's what we are doing right now. And we are and what is exciting for me is that we are not only creating a boxing game, kumbaga hindi lang boxing game na meron na si Manny sa ibang games around. What we are going to do is we are creating a game that is based on his life. And ang life niya is napakaganda, napaka-dramatic. And tayong Filipino, we know it well. Pero yung ibang bansa, they don't know it, and for us to represent yung pagkwento ng life story niya sa buong mundo is a really big honor for us. So like I said, yung Manny Pacquiao game natin, meron kasi mga iba't ibang game modes yan, and ang isa sa pinakamalaking mode is yung story mode. The story mode is the main game mode of the game. This is where the players can dive deep into the story of Manny Pacquiao, and where they will find out how he becomes successful literally from nothing, because you will be playing Manny Pacquiao as a child in the mountains of Sarangani. Kumbaga, yung mga initial levels natin is him gathering fruits for his family. And stuff like that. So literally, we are telling his life story through the game, until there's a point na naging successful siya sa boxing, and yun yung maganda kasi ang isang feature na kakaiba dito is yung enemies niya dun sa game are all representing social ills din na kinalaban niya throughout his life. So meron tayong enemies that is representing poverty, bullying, crab mentality. So marami, and lahat yon naranasan ni Manny, and all those experiences he is the one who's actually sharing it to us. So we are not just reading from online. So si Manny Pacquiao mismo yung nag-share sa amin ng mga ilalagay namin na experiences niya dun sa game. So he's into the development as well. So and things like this is very rare, especially for a huge name like Manny Pacquiao to be caring enough and to be involved in the development. So yun lang. So again, thank you so much for joining. If you later, if you have any questions regarding the game, let me know. And nalimutan ko lang. So story mode is just one of the features. We also have historical fight mode where we are giving the players the opportunity to fight yung mga important fights niya, to relive the important fights throughout his career. And we also have the online PvP where players can go head to head against other players using their own customized Manny Pacquiao. So yun yung mga game modes natin. We are developing this. The team is working really hard in bringing this into fruition, and so something big to expect next year. So thank you.
Okay, thank you, Ben. As Ben said, our goal in this venture is really to share the life story of Senator Manny Pacquiao, both his trials and his triumphs from his childhood days in Sarangani, in General Santos, all the way to his travels to Manila, his early days as a boxer, and later on his status in the world arena. We are releasing it in 4 chapters, but as you know, he's a living legend. There are more stories to tell, and we will release additional chapters of his life as updates in the coming months after our release. Our goal is to be able to, as I said, share his life story, especially to the youth. Many of our youth, man has been fighting for decades. Many of our youth know him, champion na siya. Diba? They don't know what he went through, and you may want to make it as an inspiration or an aspiration for all these youth in an engaging format, because I believe this will be better for them than a book or a movie. This is a very engaging and interactive medium, which we feel the youth will especially be attracted to. And I think no less than Senator Manny said it clearly during his speech at the Cambridge and Oxford. I think that was 2 years ago. He said the Manny Pacquiao story is the best fairy tale that we can tell and retell for generations to come. And we hope we will be able to contribute to that legend through our Fighting Pride game. Okay. So at this point, I'd like to open up the floor for any questions. I was going to ask you, Sana, to post it on our chat, but this is a small and intimate group, and I think a lot of you know one another. Might be best to just raise your hand or just speak up, and just to let you know, if any of you would like a one-on-one interview, either with Ben or with Mike, please just email me. My email is in the materials I sent you. So please go ahead, and we will be happy to meet with you separately. So now, any questions from the group?
Hi, do you have like a sample, a few seconds, or wala pa?
Ben is quite
sounds so exciting. Yeah.
Currently
Wala pa.
we can share naman, but not here dahil medyo choppy kasi internet. You guys will not be able to appreciate it. So if we might be able to send you on a link that would be very much better for viewing on a later date. So
Okay.
yeah, we can prepare for that.
That's good.
Or-
It sounds so
or-
exciting. I think it's a
or-
great idea for, like you said, because the young people today, they barely read a book, so
Yeah.
it's
Or
good.
Dayan,
Yeah.
the other option is we do have social media properties like it's on YouTube. So later on, maybe we can like post a video of the gameplay.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So rather than sending you an actual game, which we're still developing, maybe we'll just post a sample.
Yeah.
So I think we do have that. So we'll just do that.
Mm. Okay. So mga next year, like first quarter or second quarter, Mike?
Well, if you ask us, we want to do it as early as we can, no? But there's so many variables that we have to take into consideration. If we are to be followed, later part of second quarter would be a good time.
Okay.
That means all the bugs would have been, the bugs would have been fixed. Everything's already there, and the 4 chapters would be complete.
What are the actual stumbling blocks for you at this point to not really have that particular target, a definite target date? What Ben and Mike and Francis, ano yung mga humahadlang as far as the development is concerned?
So as far as development concerned, more on sa features that we are working on. So we because the Manny Pacquiao is a really big name, and we really wanted to showcase him really well. So I don't so we are polishing it. Like what the team is doing is that if we are seeing problems, because we are gamers, we know how it feels, and we know how a good game feels like.
Oh,
And
bigyan mo kami ng technicals. Bigyan mo ako ng technicals. What in particular are the stumbling blocks? Is it video? Is it audio? Is it the syncing of both? Is it the interactive aspect of the development of the game that's giving you problem?
yeah, okay. One sample na medyo mahirap is gamifying the story. So
Okay.
Sir Mike and I are really working hard in finding a way in gamifying his story, because syempre pagdating sa game, we need to make it fun, and we can't just go on straight and tell his story, because what the gameplay is a beat 'em up game. So and he is beating up social ills in the game, but we do need to tell we do need to find a way to tell his life story, and at the same time do all those action stuff na nangyayari dun sa game.
Kumbaga Ben, Mike, what you're trying to really get a certain harmony with is
Yes.
not to make it a documentary.
Yeah.
Yes,
Diba?
exactly.
It's not to be a documentary, but it's more of a game that actually tells a story.
Yes,
Right.
Okay.
yes. Thanks for that, sir.
Wait, klaro.
let me add to that, Boyot, no? Connected to that. Yun nga, Ben and I work really closely to translate. I think that's the word, no?
Yeah.
Translate the story. So if there's a word to describe this gameplay, it's an adaptation of his life story. So as you said, it's not a documentary. That's
Correct.
why, if I may, Ben, lalagyan ko na ng konting excite natin si Boyot ng konti. Like for example,
Sige lang, sir.
it's not just social ills, it's also some of his personal challenges. So for example, self-doubt. Yeah, that's a personal challenge. So we put a character,
All have as well.
parang dodong duda. Diba? Parang gano'n. So yun ang mga kasama niya doon. So we try to do that. But I think Ben and I have gone through this for almost more than 2 years now. So I think we get the flow of doing it, no? But just to add to an answer, kasi Brad, ano rin to, this is also a business development, no? It's not just creatives, no? So it's not a stumbling block, but we have to go through some processes. Distribution is one. And I think may nagtanong, no? Saan mo ilalagay? iOS, Apple Store, Google Play, yung mga ganun. So we're still looking at that. And we're also trying to talk to and have agreements with publishers. Do we do worldwide publishing? Do we do geographic publishing? So those are the things that we have to go through. So please bear with us. We want, kasi sabi nga namin, we only launch once.
Right.
Diba? We only launch once. So we want to do it right. Later on, pag nandyan na, may pagkakamali ka, okay lang. Pero yung unang salvo, kailangan tama. So that's why we need your help, guys, to create the buzz and the interest for the game.
Nice.
Kasama ba si Mami D? May character?
Yes.
Pasagutin ko si Ben.
Yes po, kasama po si Mami D. Meron po siyang character syempre sa game. And yung mga important people kasi na sa buhay niya is that syempre we recreated them into the sa game. So may so yung sa part na bata pa si Manny, syempre medyo bata pa si Mami dito. So we do have to research on how she looks like during that time.
Right.
And si Manny kung how he looks like nung bata pa siya, including si Buboy. So yung mga tao na nakasalamuha niya or nakatulong sa kanya during his career, we are putting them in the game. And yun. So because we are telling his life story, yun yung maganda. We are not just focusing on the boxing part. We are telling his life story. So malaman ng mga players like, wala pa na silang makain dati. Yung kumbaga, if hindi pala siya makabili man lang ng kahit isang takal ng bigas before, samantalang ang Ferrari sa kanya dali lang ngayon, something like that. Something like that, which will really it might take surprise many of the Filipinos who knows him or who follows him, but it will definitely surprise many yung sa younger generations, yung mga sa ibang bansa, because we are not only targeting in terms of market, we are not only targeting for Filipinos, because Manny is globally known, and we are targeting everyone dito sa mundo na to, kumbaga.
Go ahead, Boyet.
Okay, meron akong malisyosong tanong ha.
Mhm.
Sabi ko, life story. So will this be a no-holds-barred life story? No, I'm serious. Will you be putting in the good and the bad? Seriously.
Okay.
As much as we can with Manny's guidance, yes.
Okay. With Manny's guidance. So ibig sabihin nun,
because the storyline Boyet really goes through him also.
Okay.
So yes. So it's as you said, it's not
his approval.
Yes.
His approval. Okay.
Yes. And inputs, no? The other side of that is just to share also. Si Ben and I actually know of some small details that I don't think some other people don't know. So, so it's interesting to tell that story. But again, the formatting kasi is about, okay, you fell, you stand up again. You're challenged, you fight back. So that's the heart of the storytelling. So
the heart of the storytelling, in addition to what you said, is more of how to rise up when you are down.
Yes.
Because that's the most important thing more than anything.
yes,
The rising up, more than the winning, is the rising.
right.
Correct. Yeah. Yan kanina I think si Ben was just being a bit guarded and secretive, but all of the important and relevant characters that made Manny Pacquiao who he is now will be part of the game, and you'll be surprised at some of the storylines and the characters that Renida and Ben created. In relation to Boyd's question later, yung kanina, with a mobile game is very similar to coming out with a book. Actually, there's a lot of research, there's a lot of writing, re-editing, polishing. But that's the technical part, and I think that's what you asked. But as Mike said, there's the business part of it. No, we have to market it, we have to publish it. We have to first, beta test it and get the proper analytics and data. So there is a process. I'm sure Alvin is more knowledgeable about this. It takes a while, and we really wanted to get it right. So just the development itself in kila Renida is we're almost 1.5 years, no, Ben? We're very particular with all of the details and the quality. So we are not rushing it. We want to come out with something, sabi nga ni Alvin, that can compete in the world stage. We want something world class, and this is, we are proud to say, an all Filipino venture. No, we are both Filipino companies. It's about our Filipino icon, no? And we hope that we can share and make it, talagang Philippine pride, no? We can be proud of.
I have a question for Ben.
Go ahead, Alvin.
Ben, how big is the game now?
In terms of ano sir,
Megabyte.
source code gig ba yan?
Yes.
I think we are around 2 gig pa lang naman. 2 gig pa lang naman in terms of sa source code namin.
Pag optimized na siya, package, mobile
Pag
game.
hindi, if we package it, it's around right now, it's around 200 MB. But we are going to, but it's not optimized yet. So definitely, we want to make it lower din kasi, since para easy for
Download.
for our to download yan. Yes.
We'll talk about that.
Yes.
You know naman our problems. Yun nga, why I need to support this as part of the association. And Ben, of course, and Ranita has been a part of the game developer association for many years. Is we don't have that many hits coming from the Philippines, so it's a big concern from us. Our association is over 10 years old. Yes, we do have some games coming from the Philippines that have they've gone around the world. They've made some money from developers, but some have been famous, some have won awards. Pero yung awards di mo makain eh. I personally not only want this game to be famous, but it has to be financially rewarding as well to the investors. We have to prove, to ourselves in the Philippines that we can make games that are entertaining and that create revenue. Importante ito sa amin eh. Dahil kami nandito, hindi lang dahil masaya kami gumawa ng games, but this is a business. And we, the association, we want to inspire other people, other kids up and coming, to develop more games based on Filipino-based IP. That's our big dream for the next few years. But hopefully, this is our champion in the making.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's
I hope so too.
Thanks, Alvin, for sharing those insights from the industry. No, as I said, we have a lot of excellent world-class developers here, like Ranita. But most of our games are subcontracts from other countries. What Alvin and the GDAP would like to see is a game produced and developed by Filipinos in the Philippines, and especially involving a Filipino icon. No, so hopefully, Alvin, we will be able to make you proud.
Thank you. Sana before I retire. So.
Bata ka pa, Alvin. Ano ka ba?
Nakakapagod na president for 10 years. It's time for new young blood to come up.
Okay. Let me just share some questions that were sent to me separately on the chat box. No, one. Is it available on Android and iPhone? Yes. Is it free? Yes, it's a free to download game, but there will be in-app purchases. You can level up by purchasing, better gloves, or you can run faster by purchasing, fancier shoes. No, may mga ganun tayo. So it's a way of engaging other people. Okay. Will there be the real opponents of Manny? Yes, we will be recreating, as Ben said, some of his iconic fights. It will be likenesses of his opponents, but of course, due to IP restrictions, we will not be using their actual names. Let me see. Okay. Are there any other further questions? Yes, Boy.
With regards to the opponents, no, because that was Pao Salud, and I share his question. Paano yun, Francis, Mike, Ben, paano yun? How will you be able to let the consuming public who will consume the game na lang ang pagbasihan lang
Okay, mention the actual name of the person. There's no copyright or IP issue.
Yeah,
Tama ba?
we can create the likeness as long as we are not actually tracing a photo of that person. And of course the in the game medyo cartoony din kasi yung look. So hindi siya exactly na parang kinapi na parang photo na nilagay na lang namin sa game.
may interpretative artistic
Yes.
na
We usually call it inspired by.
yeah.
It's a homage. It's an homage.
Galing.
So, actually, si Manny nga ang nagsasabi kasi we can't use the real name. Sabi niya, okay, yung kay tawagin natin Miguel Loto. Diba? So we'll be disguising. Si Manny mismo nagsasuggest kung ano mga pangalan ng kalaban na ginagawa niya ng storya.
Right. I like that. I'm just visualizing how it will be. And I like the sound of that na bibigyan nyo ng ibang pangalan na medyo makikiliti yung Pinoy na game. Uy!
Yes.
May hawig na pangalan na connotation yan. May mga ganun. That's nice.
I wouldn't worry naman, Boyet, if there anyone that complains. Remember, it's a game. It can be updated. It can. So, we're not worried.
Oo. Pwede naman kasi update, di ba, Alvin?
Yeah.
Yes. If they complain, we can update. We can change the looks, or we can change the names to veer away from whatever they're complaining at.
Who knows if it does well enough? Maybe they will say, "Hey, can you use my likeness?" Who knows? This is gaming.
Yeah, and it's no, but if that's already, if it becomes big and the opponent himself suggests or allows you, di ba? Pwede yun, di ba? Sabihin ni kung sino man dyan, o sige, papayag na ako, pero pengin na konting cap.
Yeah. And remember, this is just the first game. There could be a game number 2, game number 3.
Right. There are processes and there are processes as well as maybe futures in the pipeline na pwedeng i-incorporate na yun, ano? Nice. Very nice. Thank you, guys.
There's a question, Francis, I think, on the chat. From Delphine. Could you?
Mute. Yeah, it's from Delphine Dokino.
Yeah, could you
how do
process
you plan? How do you plan to carve a niche in the market, especially now that the likes of these other games or these big games, one of them which was announced, Manny will also be a part of. How can we carve our niche when there are other bigger games that dominate the country in terms of player base, so mobile gaming? Okay,
I'll take it.
Okay, go ahead, Mike.
Well, thanks for that question. No? That question now deals with the business side and the marketing side. No? It takes us away from just a simple development of a game. So many other variables come into play. You did mention another game. You already know what the difference is in that game. No, there are also some other aspects of game of the business of the game, like statistics, and that's why I will reiterate, we need your help, guys. Kasi nga, statistics is basically very simple. You want to have a good number of people who would be interested, and of those interested, you want them to download, and of those who download, you want to retain them. So it's basic basic business. But with the help of everybody else, if we are behind this, then we can start a group above a good number of people who will be interested, bring it down to those who will download, and bring it down to the retention level. Once we're able to do that, the game will be launched properly. Now, in terms of niching, you mentioned that. Obviously, we're looking at a very young age in terms of initial targeting. No? And because it's as Ben and I work together to develop it, it's simple enough for non-gamers to also be interested in and to play. So there is an intent to make it really friendly enough to increase the number of possible downloads. So madami tayong tinitignan, Delphine. So we're trying to figure out as we move forward what particular niche we want to really, or position we want to really capture. Francis?
Okay, there are a couple of questions about the game itself, no, and I think Ben would be best to answer them, no. From Pau Salud, the gameplay and the UI is such a big concern for gamers. How would you describe it? Is there a versus mode? How's the actual boxing controls? Any combination punches or controls like that? And siguro ito more of the business side naman, Mike, no, and you can follow up. There are a lot of mobile games out there. Is there any games that you can compare this game to? One is a major tricky question. It was just announced that Manny Pacquiao is, I don't want to mention the game, is a character in this new game. Do you see them as a competitor? And I think everybody knows what I'm talking about. Siguro, Ben, could you talk about the controls and the gameplay that Pao was asking, and then Mike will answer the last questions.
Yes. Thanks for the question. So in terms of gameplay, we are polishing. We are like I mentioned, we are polishing the game as much as we can, because we are also gamers, and we played a lot of because the gameplay is beat 'em up. So for the story mode, it's going to be beat 'em up similar to Streets of Rage and other beat 'em up games. So we have played these games before, and we are still, and we up to now we are still doing research to, because there are new things that we can do to make it more to make the combat more satisfying. So it's a work in progress, and so everything's a work in progress, actually, the one that you're seeing, including the UI, and we are very much open in upgrading everything. So in terms of yung mga na-release na natin ngayon, yung mga pinakita na in the media, those are in alpha stage and will be updated still. So in terms of the versus mode naman, yes, we are developing a versus mode where you'll be controlling your own version of Manny Pacquiao, because in the game there is progression. Your Manny Pacquiao, you train him, you level him up, and you buy equipments and skills for him, and all those different setups you can play against other people. So yun yung key feature nung online PvP ng game, which is PvP is more Pacquiao versus Pacquiao for this game. And for the question, and for any combination punches or controls like that, yes, there will be combination punches. Of course, as I've mentioned, Manny Pacquiao started. You will start playing Manny Pacquiao when he's a child, so he doesn't know boxing during that time.
Right.
Yeah. So the combat during his childhood is very much different when he started boxing. So there will be combination to do specific combos and to do specific end specials that you can perform in the game.
Tama yung Ben, ano? Just like in the game, in real life, his skills will grow as he progresses.
Yes,
Diba?
I will answer na rin the next question by Sir Randy Kaluwag. Will you also mimic the trademark moves? Yes, the the moves that he has, we added them as skills. For example, we have Manila Ice. We added that into the, we have the Sarangani uppercut. We added that into the skill. So those details we definitely put them into the game. Of course, we also added additional skills for him to use. One sample is one sample that I like is the Pinoy Pride. Remember, pag lumalaban siya, yung gumagano siya when well, like parang parang laban.
Pag naiinis.
Yeah, pag naiinis siya. So we added that into the game, and it is actually a buff.
Yeah, thanks, Ben. Yun yung mga special things that we have in store for everyone, ano? Yung mga trademark moves, mga Manila Eyes, no? Okay lang yung Ben, basta wag mo lang bigyan si Manny ng ng lava walk, ha? Ibang ano yun.
and the question then is for Pacquiao's opponents, like Marquez Alvarez, right? Counter.
Meron yan.
Yes, we will be adding those as well.
Yeah. And Ben also explained kanina that the format is a beat 'em up, no? It's a beat 'em up game. It's not strictly a fighting game, no, or an adventure game. It's a beat 'em up game. And maybe Ben, you could just enlighten them. We described our game as a 2.5D. Ano bang difference ng 2.5D sa 2D at saka 3D? Binibiro ko, may nagtatanong sa akin yan eh. Ang sagot ko, ang sabi ko Ben, ang 3D para electric pan yon. Ang 2D, ano yon? Ngayon, hindi bukas yon, 2D.
So main difference for 2D is yung how can I describe this? Flat siya. So you just go left and right. And for 2.5D you can go left and right, up and down on the screen. And for 3D naro-rotate mo everything. So in our game the camera is locked naman. Your character the camera will sometimes rotate to focus whenever you're doing a special, but you cannot control it. So ang path natin is always going to the right for this game, and your characters will just move left or right or up and down. So 2.5D tayo. So yun, sir.
Okay, thank you, Ben. Mike, would you like to take the last question of Pao?
Which is?
He said that Manny Pacquiao is now a character in this big game.
What? Which one? What game?
Hindi ko nga alam kung ano yung sinasabi niya.
What are we talking about?
Ano ba yung MLBB?
Mike, can I chime in?
Yeah,
go ahead, Alvin. Go ahead.
Really, it's more than that. Besides being part of that game, so they're adapting a character based on Manny Pacquiao. But there's more than that. Atelco just got Manny as a brand ambassador. So things are really looking up for Manny in 2021. So for me, actually stars are aligning for this project because this will all be part of the hype upon launch. I think it's the timing of the launch of Q2 is perfect because the Manny hype on digital will be much bigger and better with him being in that game, with him being ambassador. So, mas nag-push ngayon si Manny sa digital space.
Among other things.
Will be rewarded by Q2.
Yeah.
And if I may,
by Q2.
If I may also respond to that, no, yung question. The opening line dun sa aming trailer, a game like no other, I think says it all, no? And the reason for that is because really it's the first time in this platform that a story of a living legend is told. The others, as you said, in whatever game that is you're talking about, it's just use of walang reality basis. No? So that's why it's different, because our content develops, as sabi nga ni Boyet and si Alvin, as Manny progresses, madadagdagan yung kwento ng game. So again, the platform lends for that kind of development. A book does not, a movie does not, or a TV show does not. I'll give you an example. For example, yung in the pandemic, there are so many TV programs that are now talking about COVID-19. So hinabol nila, but it takes about 3 to 4 months before a new material comes out. In this case, in the platform, we have a living legend. He will continue. There will be some developments, as Alvin put it. No, so many things are going to happen to Manny. So I think both the game and Manny, as long as we can work together, we can maximize the storytelling.
Good. Are there any other questions from our participants?
So, si Sir Randy Calog, Sir Francis, meron siyang follow-up question.
Go ahead. Okay. Randy is asking, will you also mimic the trademark moves of Pacquiao's opponents? Okay. Ito pala. Since you're following Manny's life, meron bang character ng mga reporters who followed Manny's life na nasa game din? Actually, meron.
Dapat na dyan yung Randy, yung Nick Gyongko, yung Dennis Principe. Wala na si Ronnie Nathaniels eh. Paano kayo?
Si Nick yun, si Nick. Nandito ngayon eh.
Sige, mga kaibigan, magandang input yan.
Lagay nyo.
As I said, because it's a living and breathing concept, maybe. It's not a no. It's a maybe. So, posible.
Ako, gusto ko yan. Pag sinali nyo sila, maganda yan.
Basta wag mo lang
cameo ng konti. Oh.
Pero Boyet, yung tanong mo kanina, if no holds barred, ganun din sila, ha?
Oh, dapat! Abay, dapat!
No holds barred din yan, ha?
Wala tinatawag.
Kasama yung level, ha?
Wala ipitan.
Well, tribute din kay Ronnie. Bigyan niyo si Ronnie ng...
Kailangan ni Ronnie Nathaniels dun, Brad.
Tribute din yun.
Si Nick libel na pinag-uusapan. Bayan, wala pa nga eh. No, but thank you, Randy, for that input. I think it's a possibility.
Well, it would complete a Manny Pacquiao story because you can...
Thank you for that. That's
these guys, no?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
We have a question from Peter. Peter, Atencio. Please, would you like to open your mic and ask your question? Wala, Peter. Okay. Anyone else? We can get back to Peter in a while.
That's my question.
Okay, Peter.
My question is, how many people can go and play against Manny Pacquiao in the boxing in this video game? Sabihin, ayon.
It's going to be 1v1 if we're talking about the online PvP. It's going to be 1v1.
So wala yung parang step ladder na gano'n, parang draw sheet gano'n. Style gano'n, parang ay amateur pala yun. Sige, thank you.
Gusto yata ni Peter parang rumble eh, no? That's a possibility later on. We'll see. Team Pacquiao versus Team Pacquiao. No?
Okay.
Yeah. Well, okay. Mike and Ben, any and Alvin as well. Any parting last words? Maybe Alvin, thank you very much for joining us. Maybe you can just say a few words again, representing GDAP.
A project like this, beyond the developers, beyond the investors, we, as the president, we call for the support of the media because you are a very, very critical component of this. We need to tell people to download this game, to hit that button, no matter how big or small the megabytes is, to download that game. And when we ask for support, we're not telling everyone to pay the in-app. A nice way to support the game is to give feedback. That's very, very valuable. That's the nice thing about games. Whenever we hear valuable feedback, once the game is out, it can still be improved. All games in the market do it that way. So that is the value of the press. To tell people to hit that button, not just to vote for it, to download this game. So good luck to us. We hope that this is the champion we've been looking for.
Thank you, Alvin. Yeah, promotions is a big part of the criteria of a game's success, especially now with the scattered and niche markets. No? So yes, media is very, very important, and we'd like you to continue being our partners. But what's good is that Manny Pacquiao himself, the senator, has committed to participate in our marketing efforts once we come to launch. So that is a big plus, and we will make sure that you will be part of these roundtables as we are closer to launch or during our launch. No? So we will be inviting all of you. Ben, any other last words, Ben?
Well, for me, I just want to thank everyone for giving us the opportunity to share the project that we have been working on. And again, your support in this project is really needed. I know that our IP is huge, but still the more word that's coming out to tell the people that this project is existing would really help a lot. So maraming salamat po sa inyo in advance, and mabuhay po tayong lahat.
Okay, Ben. And Mike?
Congratulations. Super
Thank you,
exciting.
Thank you po.
I have to learn how to play it.
I'll end with a story, just a short story. Sandali lang to. The first time we went to Manny with a sample, so I asked him to play it. I asked him to play it. So while he was playing, of course, he was trying to learn the game. Then he looked at me and said, "Ay, knock out ako." So what am I trying to say? If we can make Manny enjoy playing this game and respond spontaneously that way, I think we've done a good job. Our job today, I guess, with all the people here, and most of you have covered Manny, and you know the value of his story. If we can just bond together, do it correctly, and tell his story, I think there's so many people we can inspire with the story. So I that's all the help I'm asking from each one of you. So hopefully he doesn't get knocked out the way he got knocked out in that game when he was playing it. So thank you, everybody. Mabuhay po kayo, mabuhay ang Pilipinas.
Group photo.
Okay.
Photo daw.
Ano ba? Everyone, if you may just turn on your videos just for a group photo. This is the new normal way of mass gathering. Okay, Walter Manalo is on the business side of Renida. He is
Hello
with us
po.
here today.
Hello, everyone.
And I also like to introduce Juanito Imperial. He is our partner at OMG. Okay. Sige, Vince, Pao, and Yanni, if you want to skip this, that's fine. There you go.
Juanito, how are you related to Tito Ching Imperial?
May follow-up question pa si Boyet.
He's my the impresario. He's my dad's brother.
Wow, okay. So related ka pala kala Benji, kala Bobby, kala Eddie.
Yes, first mga primo ko yung mga yan. First cousins.
Very good.
Tumakbo ka na, Boyet, ha?
So, Michael
Marami ka ng supporter, Boyet.
Michael Chosa, malisyoso ka.
We'll take the photo.
Oh, Walter, a picture na. Already, Walter?
Ben, we'll take the photo.
Okay. Okay. Maraming salamat sa inyong lahat, sa inyong pagdalo. And we hope
Thanks for having us. Thank you.
Join us again. We will be in touch. And if you want interviews, as I said, just feel free to email me and we will make arrangements for it. Thank you, everyone.
There's Francis. See you later, Ben.
Okay. Randy, yeah. See you tonight.
Thanks, Sir Alvin.
See you tonight.
Francis,
Thank you, Diane. Thank you, Boyet. Thank you, Nick. Thank you, Vince,
Thank
Leo,
you.
Alvin, Dennis, Peter, Delphine, Pao. Maraming salamat sa inyong lahat.
Tito Randy. I miss you, Tito Randy. Bye.
Sir Boyet! I miss your voice sa MMA!
Oh, yeah.
Tito Randy.
I miss your voice sa MMA!
Sana baka sakali gamitin nila yung boses ko sa game na to.
Oh.
Pwede, Boyet. Ikaw mag-announce.
Pwede.
Ikaw announcer. Diba?
Pwede.
Pwede. Oo, ano may sinasabi ni Michael Buffer? Ikaw ang ano nun, mag-cameo.
Hindi ko pwedeng sabihin yung sinabi ni Michael Buffer. Trademark yun eh.
Trademark na ka-IP yun sa kanya.
Diba? Pag-usapan natin yan, Francis.
Sige, magpagupit ka na, Boyet.
Sir Boyet, yung sa'yo,
Okay.
ang sisigaw mo hindi rumble. Let's get ready to bubble!
Ang galing mo, Randy Kaluwag! I miss you, brother.
Okay. See you guys. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Pao.
Alright,
Thank you, Boyet. Thank you, Randy.
Okay, natapos na rin po ang ating coverage po ng kumbaga ang media roundtable po ng Manny Pacquiao Saga at testing ko lang kung narinig. Okay, magandang tanghali po sa inyo lahat ha. Naririnig niyo po ba ako? May boses po ba? Double check ko lang kung naririnig po ako. Okay, sandali lang ha. Tinitignan. Medyo delay yung... Guys, naririnig niyo ako? Yes, may audio. Okay. Alright, so we just covered the media roundtable of the Fighting Pride, the Manny Pacquiao Saga mobile game, at yun po yung mga principles po ng laro na yan. At hopefully this will be a good game, and just wanted to inform you na may bago na namang game si Manny Pacquiao. There's a lot of games out there actually. Meron akong isang mobile game na nilalaro about Manny Pacquiao doon sa aking cellphone. Ano yun yung basta meron fighting game at this one is a story game at tapos meron din versus mode or parang fighting mode. So yun, pinakita ko lang sa inyo at sana suportahan natin itong game na ito kung nagustuhan nyo. Tingnan na lang natin sa second quarter daw of next year. Siguro isabay ito sa kumbaga sa tingin ko sa laban ni Manny Pacquiao kung magkakalaban siya sa second quarter of next year at magandang ilagay ito sa canvas kung kaya nila mag-sponsor para mas maraming maka-download ng laro. Okay. Ako yung magpapasalamat na sa inyo at mamayang gabi si Carl James Martin makakausap natin sa ating BCCP Sports Vlogger Con. Ito po yung ating coverage at salamat po sa inyo lahat. Magandang tanghali po At salamat Bobby, salamat sa mga inyo thank you. Salamat pare. Let me just end this one.
POWCAST Sports. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell.